Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Carteret County where a woman is facing a second-degree murder charge, was convicted of second-degree murder charges. She pled guilty to the charge that happened on September 11th. Now, the 36-year-old Blanton and 2 men were charged with the March 20th, 2022 death of Daniel Brisson. The man's body was found on Harris Street outside of Morehead City. Deputies say the 46-year-old man died after methamphetamine and fentanyl were intentionally injected into his body, which was then dumped out of a vehicle. Blanton was sentenced to just under 20 years to just under 25 years in prison. Jason Porter of Newport is still awaiting trial for murder, while Joshua Clausen has pending charges of accessory after the fact and fail to report death. And now we want to bring you the latest out of the Pitt County Courthouse regarding an appeal from the community of Brookhaven over a racetrack permit, a gas station permit. Now, the permit that was granted in September of 2024 allowed the development of a racetrack gas station despite significant opposition from neighbors. Many residents argued at the time that their testimony about traffic, safety, and community impact was brushed aside as the board gave more weight to the developers' arguments. In July, a judge ruled in favor of the neighbors, finding that their concerns had not been adequately considered. The case was remanded back to the Board of Adjustment for review. Now, Environmental Justice Counsel James Huey said, quote, "The Board of Adjustment really weighed a lot of racetracks considerations last September, but when residents of Brookhaven went to present their concerns, they were disregarded and not reflected in the decision," end quote. At today's session, residents once again voiced frustration about how the first hearing was handled, but said they are encouraged by the chance for a fairer process. Now it's a matter of waiting. The judge will issue his opinion, and either he will uphold the permit or he could remand the Board of Adjustment to revoke the permit and have a new hearing. And finally, we want to touch on your weather forecast for today. It's looking a little bit gray out there so far. We're going to see a little bit more of the sunshine, though, by the time we get into tomorrow. However, the winds today, those are likely going to be carrying over tomorrow as well, maybe in a slightly more decreased form, not looking at the same sort of wind speeds we've got outside right now, but it will still be breezy. 10 to 20 mile an hour sustained winds expected as we head through the day tomorrow. Right now, this is a view through our Belhaven camera. You can see we've got some sunshine trying to break through those clouds, but most of the sky currently right now gray over Belhaven. As far as rain showers go, we saw some earlier this morning, not really seeing them right now. Air temperatures currently reading in the low to mid 70s across most of the east. A few of us have bumped up to around 77 degrees. Kinston is the latest area, and Rocky Mount for that matter, the latest 2 areas, I should say, to reach that 77-degree threshold. Again, do want to give a big shout out to Jonathan Toller, who's done such a great job with our decorations here over on the CTV desk. Anyways, current winds right now, we've got 10 to 20 mile an hour sustained winds across most of the east, but looks like the majority of eastern North Carolinians right now are at least over a 15 mile per hour sustained breeze. Now, those of you watching around the Albemarle Sound, you guys have been far windier today. Right now, it's more of a 15 to a 30 mile an hour maximum sustained wind. 30 mile an hour winds right now at Elizabeth City come with a 39 mile per hour gust. It is windy throughout the area. These winds will stick around overnight tonight and into tomorrow, but we're going to see those winds slowly relax as Imelda continues to work its way further and further eastward and eventually out of our area of concern. So for those of you wondering, all right, when's it going to start to get nicer? When are we going to start to see more of a eastern North Carolina October forecast versus one that we would expect to see maybe a little bit earlier in the season? For now, we will maintain cool air temperatures through the rest of this work week, but as far as winds go, we're going to have to hang on to them for at least another day. That Imelda right now is actually a Category 2 hurricane. It has intensified its strength. It is expected to move over Bermuda late tonight into the early hours of tomorrow morning, crossing over the island around midnight. But that proximity to eastern North Carolina should highlight just why we are so windy right now and why we will maintain some of those winds even as that system pulls away from our coast. By the time we get to Friday, we should be looking at single-digit wind speeds by the time we put our heads on the pillow and get ready for the upcoming weekend. 73 degrees tomorrow, 77 on Friday, into the low 80s for Saturday and Sunday, and we'll hold in the low 80s to the start of next week. Next week, we will be tracking a cold front that moves over the area on Wednesday, leading to a better opportunity for thunderstorms and a bit of a temperature drop there from Wednesday into Thursday, but should still stay fairly comfortable from a temperature perspective, even as we wrap up next week. That's all we have time for today's 2 p.m. news and weather update. Hopefully you all have again gotten a little bit more into the spooky holiday spirit, as today is October 1st. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday.